An American naval helicopter was conducting a routine surveillance mission over the South China Sea when a Chinese military helicopter appeared on the horizon. What began as a distant visual contact quickly turned into a tense aerial encounter. The Chinese aircraft closed the distance with clear intent. Its mission was simple: challenge the American presence and make it known that Beijing was watching. But neither crew could have predicted how the next hour would unfold. The American helicopter had been operating far from any coastline, over heavily traveled international waters where military aircraft from multiple nations routinely conduct operations. Its crew had spent the morning monitoring activity across a busy stretch of ocean used by both civilian and military vessels. When the Chinese helicopter arrived, radio transmissions followed almost immediately. The message was firm. The American aircraft was instructed to alter course and leave the area. Inside the U.S. helicopter, the crew listened, acknowledged the transmission, and continued their mission. There was no panic. No sudden maneuver. No change in course. Professional. Calm. Predictable. As the encounter continued, something else was happening behind the scenes. Modern military aircraft are loaded with sensors. Every radar pulse. Every communication signal. Every electronic emission. All of it creates information. And information is one of the most valuable commodities in modern warfare. The American crew was recording everything. The Chinese helicopter's flight profile. Its radio procedures. Its maneuvering habits. Even seemingly routine actions could provide useful data for analysts later. Meanwhile, the Chinese pilot continued making increasingly aggressive passes. From his perspective, backing off would make the mission look unsuccessful. From the American perspective, every additional minute simply meant more observations. The encounter became a contest of patience. One crew trying to establish dominance. The other refusing to be distracted. As the helicopters orbited the same patch of ocean, the difference in their objectives became obvious. The Chinese aircraft was focused on the American helicopter. The American helicopter remained focused on its original mission. That contrast became increasingly frustrating for the intercepting pilot. Several times he repositioned for another approach. Several times he transmitted. The Chinese helicopter continued demonstrating its maneuverability. Sharp turns. Rapid climbs. Quick descents. Sudden changes in direction. The maneuvers looked impressive. But they also required effort. Fuel consumption increased. Workload increased. Pilot fatigue increased. The American crew, meanwhile, remained focused on observation. Modern surveillance systems can collect enormous amounts of information without requiring dramatic action. The longer an aircraft remains visible, the more opportunities there are to study it. Thermal signatures. Flight characteristics. Operating procedures. All of it contributes to a larger intelligence picture. The Chinese pilot likely understood this. But by now, disengaging would mean ending the encounter without having altered the Americans' behavior. So the interception continued. Another pass. Another radio transmission. Another attempt to establish authority. Again, the Americans remained professional and predictable. The tone of their communications never changed. Their responses stayed concise. Their aircraft continued exactly. But neither side wanted to appear weak. The result was a prolonged display of resolve. The Chinese pilot demonstrated persistence. The American crew demonstrated discipline. Eventually, however, reality began to outweigh appearances. The mission had already lasted far longer than expected. Fuel planning became a factor. Operational priorities shifted. The practical value of continuing the interception started to diminish. By now, the Americans had gathered extensive observations. The Chinese crew had demonstrated its willingness to challenge foreign military aircraft. Both sides had made their point. As the helicopters eventually separated and resumed their respective missions, neither side could claim a dramatic victory. No shots were fired. No aircraft were damaged. No headlines would announce a major battle. But military professionals reviewing the encounter later would likely focus on something else entirely. How each crew behaved. How decisions were made. How pressure was applied. And how discipline was maintained. Because in modern military